All right, today we're going to shrink way, way down to get a look at the hidden world of one of the planet's tiniest creatures. And this is a story about some seriously high stakes biochemistry, some truly bizarre biology, and a superpower that turns a death trap into an all you can eat buffet. But let's start with a puzzle. How do you drink from a bomb? Seriously, think about it. How would you safely tap into a food source that's under so much pressure it could explode and is so concentrated it could literally suck the life right out of you? Sounds impossible, right? Well, stick around because the answer is absolutely incredible. So let's meet our hero. We're going to call her Mabel. She's an aphid. And for her, every single meal is a life or death gamble. The very food that's supposed to sustain her is actively trying to kill her. Okay, so to really get what Mabel's up against, you've got to understand her equipment. Now, Mabel and her relatives, like cicadas and even bedbugs, they have this highly specialized mouth part. It's not for chewing. No, it's more like a microscopic, flexible needle. And it's designed for one thing and one thing only: piercing and sucking. And what's she after? She's trying to tap into the plant's phloem. You can think of it as a superhighway of tubes, carrying a river of pure, energy-rich sap made from photosynthesis. It's the plant's circulatory system, and for Mabel, it's pure liquid gold. But here's the catch. Getting to this treasure is incredibly dangerous. The plant isn't just giving this stuff away for free. No way. It's protected by a whole series of deadly traps. First off, there's the sugar. We think of our sodas as being super sugary, right? Well, the sap in that plant phloem is so intensely packed with sucrose that it makes our soft drinks look like diet water. This crazy sweetness, that's trap number one. And then there's the pressure. This is just wild. To move that thick, sugary liquid around, the plant builds up a massive amount of pressure. We're talking about 9 times the pressure inside a car tire. The second Maple pokes through into that highway, she's basically tapping a fire hydrant. But honestly, the deadliest trap of all is just a simple law of physics: osmosis. You see, water always wants to move from a place where there's a lot of it to a place where there's less of it. So when Mabel's body, which is mostly water, taps into that super concentrated sap, the sap should act just like salt on a slug. It should pull all the water right out of her cells, basically shriveling her up from the inside out. So let's recap. We've got explosive pressure, a sugar concentration that's off the charts, and a physical process that should turn her into a tiny little husk. So how on earth does she survive this? Well, this is where her superpower comes into play. Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How does she drink from the bomb and live to tell the tale? She does it with a beautiful and actually a surprisingly simple molecular trick. Okay, check this out. It's brilliant. As that high-pressure, super sugary sap floods into her gut, a special enzyme called sucrase just gets to work. It grabs every big sucrose molecule and, snap, splits it right in two, turning it into 2 smaller, different sugars. By doing that, she instantly lowers the sugar concentration inside her gut, which completely neutralizes the osmotic threat. It is absolutely genius. So you see, this isn't just a defensive move. This isn't just about survival. By cracking the plant's chemical code, Maple has unlocked a virtually unlimited, high-energy food source that almost nobody else in the world can safely access. So, what do you do when you have a bottomless supply of pure energy? Well, if you're an aphid like Mabel, you use it to build an empire. A clone army, to be exact. Now, this is where things get really, really strange. Aphids use a strategy called telescopic development. For most of the year, all aphids are female. And get this, they're born already pregnant with their own daughters, who are perfect clones of them. And inside those daughters are the tiny embryos of their granddaughters. It's like a Russian doll of identical pregnant clones. It's just mind-bending. And this strategy, all fueled by that endless river of sugar, allows for an absolute explosion in population. A single aphid can lead to as many as 20 all-female identical generations in just one season. She can overwhelm a plant in no time. Now, what's really fascinating to me is the byproduct of all this incredible success. I mean, with that much high-pressure liquid coming in, a whole lot has to come out, right? But it is not what you're thinking. To deal with all that pressure, an aphid has to constantly process and excrete the sap it's drinking. And the scale of this is just staggering. An aphid excretes its entire body weight in a sugary liquid called honeydew about every 2 hours. But here's the key. Calling it waste is completely wrong. Unlike the waste from most animals, which is full of toxins and undigested stuff, honeydew is basically just filtered sap. It's still packed with sugars and amino acids. It's an incredibly valuable food source for other creatures.
And this liquid gold has created an entire miniature economy. You've got ants that will literally herd aphids like cattle, protecting them from predators just to get a constant supply of honeydew. Bees will collect it and make a very distinct dark honey from it. And even humans, for centuries, have harvested it as a natural sweetener.
So just think about that journey. What started as a plant's deadly chemical defense becomes an aphid's superpower. That superpower then fuels a literal clone army, which in turn produces a substance that becomes a currency for an entire ecosystem. Mabel's story is just this brilliant illustration that even the smallest, most overlooked creatures can be right at the center of the complex, hidden connections that power our entire world.